Dom here from Essential RC. Thanks for tuning in for another flight test. Hope you're all well. So we have had a fantastic year for flying, RC flying this year. The weather has been brilliant all the way through to early October even. But now the weather has changed, I have to say. It is quite wet and windy outside. Doesn't mean we're not going to get down to the Model Flying Club at all. We'll get down there now and again. I suspect we still have new models arriving to flight test over the coming months. But I think our focus in part is going to change to looking at indoor models, you know, indoor RC helicopters and planes and all that type of stuff. And even some car reviews coming up in the near future. But to kick this new focus off, being fortunate that the new friends, Pitchler Model Bow, via our existing friends, Model Shop Leads, have sent me the FliteZone Hughes 300 ready to fly RC helicopter. So in the box, this has everything that you need to fly this. So you get the helicopter, the transmitter, the lithium polymer battery to go in the helicopter, and the charge lead to charge up. Features of this: the thing that stands out is that this has a maximum 15-minute flight time, which is probably by itself too long to concentrate on flying anything radio controlled. So you'll probably want to separate that into 2 flights, I would suspect, which is fantastic, before you have to charge it up again. But this also has a 6-axis gyro system in it, so it's going to be very stable. Even if you took it outside in light wind, it will counteract that. That's the whole idea of a gyro stabilization system. It flies on 2.4 gigahertz, so you're not going to get any interference from anything else while you're flying it. It has altitude control, automatic takeoff and landing should you need it, and it's ready to fly, which means you get everything that you need in the box to fly it. So let's not hang around, let's look at the components in the box. So box open. You can see we've got the manual, we've got an extra sheet here about charging and LiPo safety. Very important to be very careful with lithium polymer batteries. And that's the flight battery there, and its charge lead, the helicopter and our transmitter. Looking at the helicopter more closely, glad they sent me this in red, my favourite colour. Classic Hughes 300 style shell on this. It's fixed pitch, not collective pitch, so it's going to be easy to fly, ideal for beginners really, and small enough to fly indoors, I suspect. So all I've got to do is charge up the battery with the provided USB lead, and let's see how this thing flies. So I've charged up the battery with the provided USB lead, USB plug at the other end. So you can plug that into your laptop, your desktop PC, or you might want to invest in one of these mains plugs with a USB plug on that side, or you might have a power bank like this with USB plugs on one side. So many ways to charge up these little USB batteries these days. I like to use that when I'm out and about. It's very useful for charging up little toys or your mobile phone. Get 5 or 6 charges out of that battery for my mobile phone. So disconnect that USB lead from the battery. To explain on the transmitter before I start flying, obviously you've got the joysticks for control, but this button, auto takeoff, auto landing, if you hold it down for 3 seconds, it's kind of an emergency cut-off, and it will cut power to the motor, and if you're flying it will just drop out the sky, so be careful how high you are before you do that. The other button is for changing between mode 1 and mode 2. Mode 2 by default, which means that you have power on this side. You have up and yaw left, so yaw being that axis or on that stick. And then you've got up and down and left and right on that stick. Now when you take off, you, with hands off the sticks, fingers off the sticks, you want to be hovering in more or less the same position. If you're not and the helicopter is drifting, then you can use these sliders here to correct for that. They're called trims. So for for a helicopter, for a plane, when you take off, you want to be, on your first flight, you want to be flying straight and level with your hands off the sticks. If you're not, then you would be using those same trim sliders to achieve that. So to get flying, let's turn on the transmitter and plug in the battery. The battery goes in upside down. Actually, you see the electrical contacts are on the bottom, so it goes in with the label underneath into the back like that. And you'll see the red light comes on. It's flashing red because it is going to connect. It's waiting to connect to the transmitter, so I'll put that down. You can see the transmitter is flashing, so I need to go up, down, and now it is connected and ready to fly. So, first flight. Let's turn it around that way because I'm going to be standing behind it. Wish me luck. So, one click on the button for auto takeoff, and we're up. So it is more or less holding the same position. That's good. It is. I'm not going to have to trim this out at all. That's really good. So that is on the left stick, side to side. That is yaw. And we can go forwards. On the other stick, the right stick, we can go forwards and backwards and side to side. Oh, it's quite an agile little thing. So I'm in quite a small space here, so I am being very careful on the sticks. And it's nice to be flying inside because then there's no, there's no wind or anything that's going to affect it. That's pretty impressive. Just small inputs. So you've got no excuses flying something like this. You've got the ability to have lots of RC fun while it's horrible weather outside. And this is great practice for those bigger RC helicopters that you might be interested in flying. I'm really surprised how accurate it is actually. And I'm not a great helicopter pilot, but this fixed pitch heli is really fantastic, I think, for beginners. Low on complexity. So a lot easier to fly. So let's try landing. So landing is a one button, the left top button. So I'm hovering over my landing pad. And I didn't quite hit the centre, but I'm down. Brilliant! Right, so let's try that emergency cut off and see how that works. So click the button again for takeoff. Hovering over it, not too high, and if I hold the left button down, it cuts power straight away. So a great feature to have if you get into a problem and, for example, if you flew into a bush or something, or a tree or something like that, hold that down, cuts power straight away, and with luck you won't damage the blades at all. So, Hughes 300 from FliteZone, from our friends at Pitchler Model Bow, via our friends at Model Shop Leeds. I think that's really clever. I hope that's a good little demo. The link for this is in the video description and the pinned comment for this video, if you'd like to look up the price for it. But thanks for watching this Essential RC flight test. If you enjoy our flight test, then please subscribe. Please click the like button as well down below. That makes the thumbs up makes a big difference to our videos being promoted on the YouTube platform. But thanks for watching this one, and I hope we see you again soon. Bye.